Hello and welcome to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. Thanks for joining us on La La Land. This is the only nationally broadcast show by Los Angeles artists about Los Angeles artists. And sitting in with us today, our guest on the show is author, stand-up comedian, mom, wife, entertainer. She does it all. Anna Leffler. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Brett. Thanks for having me.
We're going to get to some of your stand-up comedy in a minute.
Okay.
We're going to play a good clip of some stuff you did at the Hollywood Improv just to get people a little started and familiar with what you do.
Okay.
But before we get to you, Paul Madrid, our engineer.
Hi.
Hi. You know what I did this week?
What did you do?
Something kind of exciting. I went down to the Pantages Theater and saw Memphis.
Oh, how was that?
It was so good. I went down for opening night, and it's kind of electric on an opening night. You know, the anticipation. Nobody quite knows what's going to happen. Nobody's seen the show yet, and you know, you get in there and you see the press line outside, and it was just a really, really fantastic experience.
I bet. Now, for people who may not have heard of the show, what is the premise of it, without giving away the ending, of course?
You know what's funny about the show is it's actually about a radio DJ. Speaking of La La Land talk.
So it gets kind of close to home.
Yeah, it does. It's about this radio DJ, and without giving too much away, you know, he goes to a new radio station, and he basically brings them rock and roll in the 50s for the first time.
Okay.
When a lot of their music is Perry Como-esque. So it's really cool. And it's playing right now through August 12th at the Pantages Theater. So people can find out information about it at BroadwayLA.org. Awesome show.
Great.
And something else kind of exciting. I had a meeting here on Wednesday with the amazing Eric Hines and the amazing Jennifer Horn talking about a little project that we have going for the show right now.
Okay.
You ready? Do we have a drum roll or something?
I don't have one immediately queued up, but...
Nice. We have... okay, we can stop the drum roll.
Okay. My hands are getting sore anyway.
We are going to be having a new co-host search on La La Land.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of exciting. We're on episode, I think, 72 or 73 now. We've had 2 different co-hosts, and we're going to be searching for a third co-host.
Very cool.
So we're going to make it fun and make it kind of a little contest. So if people are interested in co-hosting on La La Land and being our new permanent co-host, they can send us an email at lalalandtalk@gmail.com. And we would like it if they would send in a video, just 1 to 2 minutes, maybe just saying why you'd like to host the show and why you think you'd be a good co-host.
Very cool.
Something kind of fun.
Yeah.
There'll be more details about that on the website in the next few weeks, and we're going to have a deadline for it. But this is a real new thing that we thought up, so we haven't quite figured out the deadline, but just so the audience knows, that's what we're doing as far as a new permanent co-host. Until then, we're going to have some guest co-hosts and some fun stuff, so
that's very cool.
Go from there. Guys, if you have any questions for our amazing guest, author Anna Leffler, give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. We're going to be back with some of her stand-up comedy on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. That's our guest, author Anna Leffler. If you have any questions for Anna, now that she is firmly centered in the middle of the camera, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And this is a little bit of Anna Leffler's stand-up comedy from the Hollywood Improv.
Thank you, Lynn. You're welcome. All right, does anybody else do this? You buy a soundtrack to a movie, you know, a CD, and when you play it in your car, you're in the movie. It's like something magical happens when you're in your car, and anything can happen if you're listening to the right music. You know, it's like, you know you can't blow up the Death Star when you're sitting in your cubicle at work, but when you're sitting in your 2002 Camry, totally possible. So last week I bought the soundtrack to Goldfinger, right? Classic James Bond. I go down to get in my car, I pop in the CD, and I go back and down my driveway. And here comes the theme song, right? Goldfinger! He's the man with the Midas. And then I see our mailman. And I've never noticed this before, but he looks exactly like Oddjob. The guy with the steel hat that he's always whipping at people. And I'm thinking, no wonder I never get my magazines. So then I floor it down the street in my bitchin' minivan, Aston Martin. And I realize they're on my tail. So I'm firing missiles at them. I'm dropping oil slicks. I go screaming around the corner, smoking my tires, slam into the curb. Door flies open. 2 people jump out onto the sidewalk, and they look at me, and I say, "You guys have a great day at school, okay? And don't forget your lunchbox." I grew up in Texas, and when I was in junior high, I got a CB radio. And this was a big deal because you remember junior high. It just sucked. You had those days when nothing went right. Nobody wanted to be your square dance partner, And those were the days when I would go home and hop on my CB and I would talk to truckers. Well, first I had to have a handle, a CB name. So, being in 7th grade, I picked the name of my favorite candy at the time, Tart and Tiny. And, apparently a lot of long-haul truckers like that candy too. Go figure. So I'd get home from school and I'd fire up the old CB. Breaker, this is Tart and Tiny at the home 20 looking for a good buddy with ears on. Come on back. And I gotta tell you, truckers get a bum rap because they are about the friendliest people you will ever talk to. Yeah, so much easier to talk to than those junior high boys. I think it's because they take a personal interest. Asking me what I'm wearing, what the name of my street is, if I have a little sister, it's sweet. But I'm out here in Southern California now, which means, obviously, I've gotten my scrimmage marriage out of the way. I didn't really want to have a practice marriage, but the law is the law. But we both came out of it all right, and most importantly, we're now both with the men we were meant to be with. Thank you. I'm a mom now. I live over in Santa Monica with my little family. It's pretty cool. I don't quite fit in, and I think it's more than just the fact that I've got the only gun rack in the carpool lane. I think it has to do with the fact that I don't have a tattoo. You remember when tattoos were a little edgy, a little dangerous? It's not really that way anymore. A lot of regular old moms have tattoos. Now, granted, they're not the typical tattoos you would see on your average Hell's Angel, Okay, that's my maiden name in Sanskrit. And then the little fairy symbolizes my daughter Zephyr. And then the rainbow stands for the fact that life should be fun. Another thing about the West Side moms, a lot of them have crews that come in and clean their houses, but not me. I don't need that. Because that's what play dates are for. Henry, why don't you show your little friend where we keep the Windex, okay? And remember, streaks are what bad dreams are made of. Every now and then I get a complaint about one of my play dates, but I got a call last week from a mom, and I straightened her out. I was like, listen here, Gwendolyn. Okay, first of all, Red Bull does too count as a snack. And by the way, your gifted kid does not know his way around a vacuum cleaner. So have you guys seen this movie, The Secret? Everybody's talking about it. I watched it. I thought it was pretty cool. It's this movie that teaches you how to improve your life by asking the universe for what you want. So one of the things you're supposed to do is write yourself a check from the universe for the amount of money that you want, and then the universe will make it happen. So I watched the movie. I'm like, I can write a check. I'll try this. So I wrote a check to myself from the universe, and I taped it up on my bathroom mirror. And I learned a lot from this. I learned mainly that if you're going to tape the check up where your husband can also see it, it should not be in the exact amount of his life insurance policy. And you definitely should not write the policy number on the check with a red Sharpie. Have you guys noticed that the angriest people in Starbucks are the ones carrying yoga mats? Yeah, yoga's supposed to bring inner peace and serenity. These people are bitter. You know, at first I thought they were just crabby from carrying around a big piece of rubber that smells like feet. But I think there's something else going on. I think there's a trendy new form of yoga out there. A fake yoga, a faux yoga, or as I call it, foga. And I don't think the foga people are looking for serenity, but they do seem to be getting in touch with their middle finger chakra. I overheard a woman in the coffee line the other day bragging about how she cheated her nanny out of her vacation pay. I look over and sure enough, there she is in her little stretchy capri pants, a little purple mat rolled up under her arm, and a tattoo across her shoulders that read, Namaste. Which apparently means the God in me flips off the employee in you. I'm Anna Leffler. Thank you so much.
Oh, all right. That's our theme music. We took up all the time with the stand-up comedy, but we're going to be back with Anna Leffler to actually talk to her live and in person, not just on YouTube. At 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the Chictionary. This is the book that she wrote, and this is the book that you should buy at annaleffler.com. ANNALEFLER. She's giving away free copies to the first two callers, or the first three callers, actually. So make sure you give us a call at 800-336-2225. We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Anna today on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. We're talking today with guest Anna Leffler. She is an author. She's a stand-up comedian, and she is in the studio with us today. Hey, Anna.
Hi.
We're going to finally let you talk. You just heard some of Anna Leffler's stand-up comedy, and we'll get to how she got involved in stand-up in a minute. But first, tell us a little bit about your book, The Chictionary.
I had the best time writing that. It is literally, it's a dictionary. It's a humorous dictionary, the things that women say and what they really mean when they say them. And there's a combination of things in there. There are some terms that I made up. There are terms that I researched and found that, because language is always changing, and there are new terms that are made to cover modern life, situations that didn't exist 10, 20, 30 years ago.
Sure.
And then some of them are just regular words like bangs. That's not a particularly exotic term, but bangs are something very different to a woman than to a man. That's the example I always use, because if I say to a man, what does it mean to get your bangs trimmed? The typical response is, I don't know, they make them shorter, whatever. But if I say to a woman, I'm thinking about getting bangs, it's a thing, It's going to be a discussion about, really? Are you sure? Remember that last time you grew them out and they went all weird and they both faced left and you said you were never going to do bangs again? And it's this whole big thing, which I think every woman can relate to. It means something. It means something different to a man than to a woman.
Bangs are important to women. I had no idea about this.
Bangs are big.
See,
don't get me going on feathers. It's all a big thing. It's a thing.
See, we educate people on this show. Engineer Paul Stern. We educate people.
Madrid.
No, I'm sorry, Paul Madrid. Our producer is Paul Stern. I get confused sometimes.
It's social outreach, really.
Yes.
It's a public service. Those are bangs.
Okay.
There
we got bangs down.
Now we know.
All right. Perfect. What are some other terms? What are some other terms that you define in the Chictionary?
Oh, gosh.
It's interesting because the Chictionary is actually broken down in alphabetical order, like
it is
a dictionary.
It is like a reference. Here, okay, this was a shock to me when I got the book the first time I actually held a copy in my hand. It has been classified as a reference book. Which
It is.
It is. I was thinking it would be in the humor section at the
Now,
bookstore.
does this mean that somebody goes to the library and they can't check it out?
Oh, I never thought about that.
Ooh, good question.
Like an
Maybe not.
encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I like that because it makes it sound super important. That's right.
Is it really
It's like an atlas.
It's really in the bookstore under reference?
Yeah.
It's not under humor?
I wasn't
That's really funny.
super happy to learn that because literally it's like the test guides that you use to prepare for the SATs and the atlases, and then this fluorescent pink book that has a lot of really funny stuff in it, really odd stuff. So whenever I go into a bookstore and I find it, I move it. I shouldn't admit that. I move it to the humor section.
You mean this has happened more than once?
It's officially, I mean, if you look on the back of the book, it says reference down in the bottom.
Oh, that's really funny.
This is
It does say
an
reference.
academic tome.
Okay. Well,
It's
I
extremely
guess it's
academic.
not the employees
Isn't
at
that
the
funny?
bookstore's fault.
No,
Yeah.
no. They were a little uncomfortable with that. They're like, really?
That's
Seriously?
hilarious.
The one that has, jeggings in it is going to be in the reference section? For serious jeggings research, please go to the reference section.
We need to get back to jeggings later. I'm going to have you define that one.
I'm so glad that blew over.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm still chafed.
I'm so confused right now.
I
Anna.
know. That's okay.
What are jeggings? Is it just me? What are jeggings?
I've heard that some
freaking
item of
jeggings.
clothing.
Jeggings are a horrifying mashup of jeans and leggings. So imagine your jeans
okay, yeah. They're leggings, but jeans.
electrified with Lycra.
You've seen
Oh,
them, I'm
that's-
sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I do know what
it's
she's
not
talking
good.
about now.
Yeah, and they come in degrees. Like some of them have actually been kind of spray painted to look like denim. It's unsafe at any speed. Let me put it that way.
That's
It's wrong on
ridiculous.
every level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen those. It's mainly
Yeah.
older folk wearing them.
They're
but
crying out for a big shirt.
yeah, they
over
really
them.
are.
Yeah, it's a very.
Well, I'm glad that you're providing this service that you can,
telling you.
define these things for people.
I consider
honestly.
it outreach.
I mean, I feel like I've learned.
I got your
something.
back on the jeggings thing.
Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, I'm there for you.
Guys, if you want to be educated just like me, give us a call at
Or
1-800.
confused.
Or confused, yeah. Give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And check out Anna on YouTube and also at her website, annaleffler.com. We're going to be back. We can talk about toe rings or beach hair or CB radios. I mean, there's a whole list of things that you cover in the book and in your stand-up that are, we could cover. But
Anything you want.
we'll be back on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. We're talking with guest author Anna Leffler. If you have any questions for Anna, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. You can check out her website at annaleffler.com, or you can check out her blog at lifejustkeepsgettingweirder at blogspot.com.
World's longest blog address.
Yeah.
Excellent planning on my part.
Well, you said you were going to switch to WordPress eventually, but
Someday. I'm scared.
we've been having a lot of fun actually since you got here. You've got some good stories.
Oh,
Anna.
thank you.
Did you you want to tell everybody about that story about your first official piece of hate mail?
My hate mail.
Yeah,
I was
it's
so
after you wrote the
excited.
book.
I know. It was unexpected and bracing.
Uh-oh.
No, I did a TV show at USC. They have a really very slick inter-university TV show that they do, and it was a lot of fun. And I gave books to the crew, and one of the women on the crew took the book back to her dorm room, and her roommate started reading it, and she found my website and sent a letter and said, "I am so offended at your book. I couldn't even get through the introduction. You claim that men and women are so different, and that's the root of most of the problems in the world, is trying to make this differentiation. We're trying very hard to show that men and women are not different, and you've set feminism back 10 years. And I was a little taken aback. I mean, that's as bad as, I mean, she didn't call me names or anything, at least not in the email. But it was very interesting because I think I had to kind of chalk it up to, I remember being in college and being very offended at the notion of anything being uneven. I wanted everything to be even. Everybody has the same start in life. Everybody has the same blank slate when they're born. It's what you do, what you make of yourself. But I don't think this contradicts that. I think men and women are very different, and I don't think that it's better or worse or up or down or forward or backwards. I think there are a lot of differences, and you run up against that the older you get and the more relationships you have. And I sent her a really nice note back because I thought it was interesting that she had such a big reaction to it. I don't know. That was the first one. That was kind of the only one so far, and that's okay. I mean,
sure.
It was very interesting to me. She was vehement. She was really ticked off.
It's interesting because I think people confuse that different with better,
right,
or equal,
right,
and it's not that way. Men and women are different. They are equal, and
but
not one is better
flavors.
than the other, but very different.
Very different flavors. And the Chicago Tribune ended up writing an article about the book, which I was thrilled about. And this reporter really put her finger on it. She said, the book is very tongue-in-cheek, and I'm not really defining anything for anybody who doesn't already know it already. It's more a humorous way of, I mean, you have to laugh about all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You have to laugh about bikini waxing. You just do. It's brutal. And I mean, these things that we all go through to meet whatever standard we've set for ourselves. Not everybody has to do it, but it's like, mm-hmm, if you're getting a bikini wax, you've made the decision. You're in the boat.
Yeah.
You're going, And if you can laugh about it, if you can laugh about it, that helps.
Absolutely.
Trust me, it helps.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think you have
Anything
to give
helps.
yourself that in that situation.
Whiskey also helps, but
I bet.
Laughing, that helps too.
When you get a bikini wax, Paul, does whiskey help?
I don't know. I've never had a bikini wax. I don't know if I want to, frankly.
I know. It sounds painful.
Come on. You can let your hair down with us. Come on.
No pun intended, I hope.
Yeah. So, but it's funny because when we announced that you were coming on the show, we got because we get a lot of actors and musicians and producers, directors on the show, and you're not the first author you've mm-hmm. had, but you're one of the few. And people said, well, you're having an author on, and she wrote a book called The Chictionary. That's not really... That's a little different than your show. No, different. Not better, equal, different.
There you go. I like that.
But it's I think that, and I even asked you, I said, do a lot of guys read this book? And because I've been getting some flack from my guy friends, but honestly,
I can understand that.
You said that it's a good idea for guys to read this book. Why?
Men should definitely read this book. It's the same reason, if you're going to be playing the Cowboys, if you can get your hands on their playbook, you're going to take a peek at it.
Sure.
And that's kind of what this is. This is very female insider baseball. It's very tongue-in-cheek, but it's also true. It's true.
Absolutely.
And, my husband has flipped through the entries and read some things and gone, oh, is that why you're like that about that? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. And he's like, oh, guys, you need to know this. Guys should know this. I think it's very, it's scary, I think, for guys to read. But the more information you know about what the other side is doing, I think the better prepared you are. I really think that's true.
The closer that we can get to understanding what the other side is thinking.
Kind of, yeah. I think men and women have a really different reaction to the book. Women read it and go, oh, yeah. Okay, that's exactly what that's like. Mm-hmm. That is what it's like to try on clothes in a dressing room with those particular mirrors. It's things that's what it's like to read one of these articles in a women's magazine that says, what shape is your face? What earrings should you wear if you have a triangular face? What?
Yeah.
And, women want to, that's the other thing that came out of writing this was women, and I love this about them. I have so much more appreciation for my gender having written this book. And I did not see that coming. I already liked being a girl. I already thought girls were great. But if you sit there and catalog all the things that they do and all the ways that they interact, you realize that the overarching theme here is women are always trying to make things better. They're either trying to, for better or worse, they're trying to fix the guy they're with. They're trying to look better. They're trying to have a cooler house. They're trying to lose a you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. And I think everybody benefits from seeing the evidence of that.
And that kind of brings us into a conversation that I'd like to talk about after the commercials.
Sure.
I guess is about how that whole the whole standard that women set for themselves. I
Right.
think based on what the media puts out there and what they're
course.
told. And I guess the same thing applies to men, but a lot of it seems to be focused on women.
I'd say that's true.
So give us a call, guys. Join the discussion at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. You'll get a free copy of Anna's book, The Chictionary. And we'll be back on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. We're talking with guest, author, and stand-up comedian Anna Leffler. If you have any questions for Anna, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225, 1-800-336-2225, and get a copy of her book and maybe even a coffee mug that says "Doing Kegels as we speak." This is the first time I'm reading this coffee mug. AnnaLeffler.com.
Takes a big man to carry the Kegel mug around.
It does. It does.
That's a statement.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any women saying ever again, all guys are the same, because our guest is someone who wrote a book called The Chictionary. So I don't want to hear it. But, we were talking about, and getting back to a serious subject. We were talking about the whole thing about the media and how it portrays women.
Oh, right.
That type of thing. And you said there's been a little bit of a backlash about the book from some women.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of I think there are 462, 72, something like that, definitions in the book. And the task of sitting down and coming up with those was a little daunting. And so as I was pulling this together, I realized, I really hit the mother lode when I got in the beauty category. Mm-hmm. And I was really thankful for that, first of all, because that's a lot of stuff I needed to come up with. But it made me realize just all the things that women do, or that they feel they have to do, or that they feel like they can't not do. And
sure.
And if you pull all the way back from that and see how much easier it is to come up with terms in that category than some of the other categories, I think it does say something. It doesn't say something bad about women, but I think it was just very enlightening to me to have that category jump out as being so rich with material.
The beauty category?
Yeah, beauty and grooming and all that. And it was funny because, again, the Chicago Tribune reporter said a lot of this stuff has to do with your appearance, but that's not to say that appearance is all that matters to women, but that's where some of the funniest terms get generated because of the things we do to ourselves. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is dictated by kind of popular fashion and popular culture, and as grooming habits change and we become very focused on certain celebrities who have certain attributes that are now what everybody wants. Yeah, I just think it's fascinating.
Absolutely. I
really think it's fascinating. And I think that hits the female gender harder than it does the male gender, mm-hmm. for whatever reason,
I can imagine that it would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to read a couple of your? You brought some.
Sure.
What did you call that? The leopard handbag of.
The leopard handbag of ladyhood. Can you? I don't know where to.
Right, very nice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
this is where I carry my definitions.
This is where all the definitions from the Chictionary are kept.
This is like the greatest hits. The greatest hits of the Chictionary.
I feel like this is like when Geraldo opened Jimmy Hoffa's tomb.
It's a lot like that.
Yeah. Except there's not a whiskey bottle in here.
It's not empty.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll read makeover because that's something that most women can relate to.
Okay.
Makeover, noun. A high-stakes experiment in which you turn your appearance over to someone whose last job, for all you know, was as a stylist on the kiddie pageant circuit. Done skillfully, the makeover can result in a polished, more confident you, while passing on new skills to bring out the best in your appearance every day. The other 97% of the time, however, the makeover leaves you gaping in stunned silence at the grotesquely glazed she-clown in the mirror and wondering how you're going to get your $400 worth of new makeup home without being accused of working another girl's corner. At least that's been my experience.
I've never had a makeover, but I've heard complaints.
It's just always interesting.
Yeah.
You know? It reminded me of wedding preparation because,
Sure.
Your wedding day is probably the day you look least like yourself, ironically.
Yeah.
And I remember, going to a makeup artist beforehand and kind of trying some things out and looking in the mirror and going, really?
Am I supposed to
Pink
look like
eyeshadow?
that?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you always want to stay away from the pink eyeshadow.
Well, I felt like I needed to wear a name tag. So when he came down the aisle, he'd be like, you're the one I'm supposed to marry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You all work so hard on when you're getting ready to get married. There's so much preparation that goes into that.
Oh, it's a whole thing. It's a
Yeah.
whole. I have a wedding section. There's a whole wedding category.
And you have
because it's its own thing.
You have a definition in there for hard to get. You have a definition for one night stand. Relationship section.
Another rich category of material.
How many definitions are there total?
I think it's 460 something, 62, 65, something like that.
Everything you ever wanted to know.
Or didn't.
About being a chick. Or
didn't.
Well,
the interesting thing was, I had 2 months to write the book. So it was literally at a dead run. So I really was happy to hit the beauty category and realize that there was this just outpouring of funny terms.
Sure.
Because that's a short time frame, and I was really thankful to hit that.
Definitely. Wait, you had how long? 2 months?
2 months
to write a 400 and something page book.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know how you do it.
It was a good challenge.
226 page book in 2 months.
That was about 57,000 words, something like that.
Wow.
But you know what? I'm a big believer in you don't know who you are until you know what you can do, and I love a challenge.
Sometimes
very grateful to have that task.
Yeah. They lit a fire under you, and you succeeded magnificently. It sounds like.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Guys, if you have any questions for our guest, author Anna Leffler, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. You can check her out on her website as well at annaleffler.com, ANNALEFLER. We'll be back on La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. That is guest Anna Leffler. She is an author and a stand-up comedian and a pretty awesome person. If you have any questions for her, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. You got about 3 minutes left, guys, if you have any questions for Anna Leffler. And I should also let our audience know about something. I do the marketing for a place called Theater Palisades out in Pacific Palisades, kind of near where you're at there in Santa Monica. And we have a show right now. Our youth theater show is going on this weekend. It's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, really cool.
That's fun.
I went out to see it on Thursday night. It was awesome. They're doing a great job down there. The TP Youth, we've got about, I'd say 30 to 40 kids involved in TP Youth, and they're just really talented actors.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so guys, check out Theater Palisades at theaterpalisades.com and check out Alice in Wonderland.
Fun.
Yeah. But, there's actually so much more that I have to talk to you about, and we only have, a few more minutes, but
sure.
I wanted to get into some of the social media stuff because you do a lot of promotion for the book, The Chicktionary, and a lot of promotion for yourself through social media.
Yeah, I have leaned on that a lot.
Yeah. Has that been helping? Do you think that's been a good career move?
It's very helpful. I've made a lot of lovely friends whom I've never met in person, which I think is one of those modern side effects of the technology that we have.
Yeah.
I'm really careful. I have like a little iron box around the stuff that I do on social media. I'm always, I try to only put up things that I think are funny. I never, here's what I'm having for lunch. I try to use it
Important stuff.
There needs to be some value added, you know? I know my life isn't that interesting, so if I'm going to say something, I try to say it in a way that's funny, and if I can make somebody laugh, then I feel like they'll be glad that they took the time to read it. So I kind of try to keep that guidepost on Facebook and on Twitter.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
That's just, there's a lot of claptrap out there, and I try not to add to it.
That's not me. I completely add to the claptrap.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a chair. Actually, we have a call for you. We have Henry. Where's Henry from, Paul Madrid?
I think I'd let him say.
I'm
Hey,
in
Henry.
Anna's house right now. I'm her son.
What's happening,
He'll do
Henry?
anything for a free book. I know that kid.
No, I don't want the free book. We're just calling to say we're proud of you.
Aw, thanks, you guys. Thank you.
So sweet. Hey, Henry, there's
Yeah?
there's 11 million homes that the show goes into. You want to ask your mom any questions?
Oh, no. You're eating Funyuns right now, aren't you? I can hear the bag crinkling.
No, I have one urgent question.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
What's for dinner?
Oh, see? You see what it's like?
What is for dinner?
What
That's
is
a
for
good
dinner?
question.
Dang, I'm getting a T-shirt that says, I don't know what's freaking for dinner. Oh, my gosh.
Well, I guess she'll let you know later tonight then.
Thank you for
All right,
calling, Henry.
Thanks, Henry. Your mom's awesome. Good talking to you.
Bye, buddy.
Author Anna
That's
Leffler.
pretty funny. I
Yeah.
did not even put them up to that.
That's really cool. I'm glad he called.
He's only 3, by the way. He's extremely advanced.
He's not 3.
I'm kidding.
How old is he?
Henry's 12.
Oh, okay. That's more like it. Author, comedian, and mom. Anna
Obviously.
Leffler.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for being here.
This was a blast.
And come back anytime and visit
Oh,
us.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Tell us real quick about cricketandwine.com. That's an event that you have going on right now, right?
September 18th at the Ferry Building in San Francisco at Book Passage. It's called Chick Lit and Wine, and it's going to be funny readings of chick lit and associated things paired with wines and chocolate.
Good
September
stuff.
18th.
AnnaLeffler.com for all your information on that. And next week, guys, we have a guest co-host, Steve Julian, as well as Larissa from the band Madison Hatter. Until then, I'm Brett Chapin. That's engineer Paul Madrid. The show is produced by Paul Stern. This is La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. We'll see you at the top.